Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rachita Misra speaking to you. Today's lesson will be on adaptive process models, and under adaptive process models we will be discussing the agile principles. So this is the topics that we will be covering today. We will introduce the topic, the subject of adaptability, and then we will go into the Agile Manifesto. Then we will discuss what is agility and we will talk about agile processes. So, if you remember in the previous classes, we have discussed on the classic waterfall model. We have also, those are the linear sequential methods of designing the process model for the software projects. And we have also seen the difficulties in it, and we have also seen some of the iterative models and incremental models, and then we have gone to the evolutionary models. So all these software development methods, they suffer from certain disadvantages. For example, there is a huge effort during the planning phase because we have to keep planning for even in the spiral or even in the evolutionary or incremental method, we have to keep planning for the full project. And the requirements conversion is very poor if the environment is rapidly changing. So it is not able to take a lot of change into the development process. And the treatment of staff as a factor of production. So the treatment to staff is not good because they are always under pressure to create production. So they are very much fatigued and they are not respected that much. So whereas the agile software development values are something different. There, the individual and the interaction is considered to have higher value over the processes and tools. So in the classical waterfall, we bother about whether we are adhering to the process, whether the tools are correct or not, whether our process has been implemented correctly, whether our metrics are correct or not. But here we are bothered about the individuals who are working, and we are more bothered about how collaboratively they are working. So we respect them, and there is a stress over the working software than comprehensive documentation. So because when we design in using the normal software development methods, we go into very deep and very comprehensive design documents, requirement documents. Every software phase we produce a lot of documents, whereas in case of agile software, documents are not necessary so much than the working software. So the coding, the execution of the codes in the right way is more important. And similarly, the more value is given to customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So the relation between the customer is more of a collaborative nature than on a contractual nature. And we need to respond to the change very fast rather than following a plan as is done in the most of the software development methods. So if it is required, then in agile method they recommend that you change the plan rather than sticking to the previous plan. So, and also in the agile software engineering, it encourages certain practices, things like customer satisfaction by early incremental delivery of software. In earlier, we said customer satisfaction by quality of the software, but now we speak of customer satisfaction by early incremental delivery of the software. Then we need to have a highly motivated project team that did not be very big. We are not looking for large project teams like in most of the other software. Here we are talking of small teams, but they will be closely working and they should be highly motivated. And the method should be informal. And the software engineering work products that we will use, that we will produce during the development cycle, should be the minimum that is required to just create the code. And the overall development should be as simple as possible. Simplicity is one of the practice that is encouraged in agile software engineering. So how did agile software engineering started? The concept came because of a set of software developers, senior software developers, who were working in different companies, but there were some concept of developing lightweight development methods. So they said they met together in the year 2001 to discuss on these lightweight development methods, and based on their discussion, a manifesto was declared, and that is known as the Agile Software Development Manifesto, which defines the approach that should be taken for such kind of lightweight methods, which were later on known as the Agile Software Development. So it has 12 items in the manifesto. The first one is customer satisfaction by rapid delivery of useful software. So rapidness and usefulness is the main way to get customer satisfaction. Welcoming change requirements even late in the development. So change is a thing that is always acceptable in the agile methods. And working software is delivered frequently. So we need to have the delivery in weeks rather than in months. And the working software is the principal measure of progress. Instead of defining productivity measures or metrics and quality metrics, product metrics, process metrics, which were earlier the measure of progress, now the working software, how well the software works in each increment, in each delivery is more important. That is the measure in which the progress will be measured. Sustainable development, able to maintain a constant pace of delivery. So when we talk of sustainability here, we are talking of sustainability of the development, not the sustainability of the product. Earlier we talked of the sustainability of the product, software product, which means how well it will be maintained after it is released. Now we are talking of this development method itself, the development process itself, whether we will be able to sustain it. That means whether we will be able to maintain a constant pace of delivery. That means we are continuously doing the delivery. The development is always consistently providing delivery also. Close daily cooperation between business people and developers. So that business people and developers are part of the same team here, and the cooperation is on a daily basis, and face-to-face conversation is encouraged. It is considered to be the best form of communication, and many times it is decided to keep the business people and the developers together. That is called co-location, so that this kind of cooperation and communication can be more effective. Projects are built around motivated individuals who should be trusted. So the trust of the team members is a very important fact. They should be respected and trusted, and automatically it gives a motivation. So it gives them the motivation to work in a better way, give their best, and see that the software is able to be delivered in time as per the delivery frequency. And continuous attention is given to the technical essence, excellence, and good design. So here we are not talking of the design of the complete software, but we are talking of the design of the small increment, the small part of the software that is going into operation in each increment. So that has to be good. That has to work properly. That its technical character should be excellent, and whatever small design we do for it should be good, and it also should be very simple. So simplicity is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. So whatever is essential, that we should do, but whatever is not essential, we should not do. So we should maximize the essential part, and if there is something more that can be kept for the future or need not be done, we should not try to do it. Both the design and the coding should be kept simple. And the team should be self-organizing. We'll see what is self-organizing. Basically, it means that they should have the complete control. They should do their own planning. They should have the complete control, and they should also see that the quality is very good. They should assume the responsibility. So that is why we say it is self-organizing. Then regular adaptations to changing circumstances. So changing circumstances is a normal thing in agile projects. So and the team has to continuously adapt to it. So in all the agile processes or in the lightweight process, this adaptation is a part of the characteristic. So let us see whether we can define agility. What is agility? Whether we can say characteristics that by which we can define agility, we can differentiate it from a non-adaptive kind of software development. So agility in the software can be viewed as effective response to change, effective communication and collaboration among all stakeholders, drawing the customer onto team, eliminate the us and them attitude. So what we have to do in agile software, when we say that we have agility, then we have to have effective communication, and we should not differentiate between a different type of stakeholder. We should not say that they are customers and we are developers. So this kind of attitude should be eliminated, and everybody should be considered as a single team, and all together should respond to the change in an effective manner so that the software is properly built. The organizing a team so that it is in control of the work performed. So it is not only doing the planning, the organizing with the scheduling, but also they're taking care of monitoring the work and how well the work is being performed. They should be complete in control of it. Rapid incremental delivery of operational software. So the software that is delivered should be operational. That means it should be able to use in the business environment, and each increment should be usable in the business environment. And we should not have emphasis on the intermediate work products. The intermediate work products are normally documents, so those are not important, but the final work product, that is the executable software, is important. So we should give emphasis to that, and we should deliver it in a rapid manner. We should not make it late. Recognizes the need for flexible planning. So planning should be flexible. It should be able to accommodate change. That's so because there is effective response to change, and therefore the planning should not be fixed. It should be dynamic. It should be flexible. Agile process model is often termed as lightweight processes, as it is origin in is in the concept of lightweight processes, as we have seen in the manifesto, and in contrast to the regimental heavyweight processes that emphasize planning, documentation, and quality. So the previously whatever was the process models that we have discussed, they have a regimental kind of nature. So that is why they are called heavyweight, because they try to emphasize on heavy planning. There is a heavy planning phase. Project management is a very important part. And so also for the quality, we try to give a lot of stress on the documentation. So automatically it takes more time, and and also because of the regimental nature, it is called heavyweight. Whereas the agility has to take into account that it should not be heavyweight, it should be lightweight, and it should be very flexible, it should be very adaptive. Agility can be applied to any software process if provided it will have these kind of characteristics that we have noted here. That is designed to allow team to adapt tasks and streamline them. Not only that, we should adapt to the tasks, and also we have to streamline them to be able to produce the increment. And the process should be able to conduct planning that understands fluidity in the software. So it should be dynamic. We should be able to take the change because there is a fluidity in the software. The software development itself has to keep on changing depending on the environment change, because the environment changes, therefore there is a fluidity in the software, and therefore the planning has to take care of it. Eliminate all except few essential work product in a lean manner. So only a few essential work products should remain, and this software process should be such that it should be very lean in the work products. So only the essential work products should be created, and all other work products should be eliminated. That is what is meaning of the lean manner. Emphasize short incremental delivery strategy for getting workable software to the customer as early as possible. So we spoke about it. So this software process, if it allows short incremental delivery, and if it is short, automatically it will be very rapid, very frequently we will give it as early as possible, that is the rapidity, then that kind of a software process can be termed as it is applying the agility principle. How do the agile process model is not a single process model, but it is like a family of processes which follows the characteristics of the agile method. So an agile process is characterized in the manner it addresses the following key assumptions about the software project. So the differential between different agile process models will be characterized by the way they will handle these assumptions. So we have three assumptions here. So the way they will handle these assumptions in the software projects, that will become the key differentiator between the different agile process models. So predicting which requirement will change is difficult. Also, how customer priority will change is unpredictable. So this is one kind of unpredictability about the software projects, which the process model has to handle. It has to address. Many times, software design and construction is interleaved. They are overlapped. Before the design is completed, the construction starts. Why it is done like that? Because there is because of the technical excellence, we want to see that the design models are proven as and when they are created. So to prove the design model, we need to create some construction and see that the design is correct. But it is difficult to predict how much design is needed before construction to prove design. So between this design and the construction, how much design should be done, and when we should be interleaving it, and how we should be proving it, there is some amount of uncertainty in it, and the way that it is addressed characterizes that particular process model. And similarly, from a planning point of view, analysis and design are not predictable. So the planning becomes difficult because of this kind of unpredictability. And to handle this kind of unpredictability in the planning of analysis and design, the agile process models may be different. So the agile process models have to address such kind of unpredictability, and therefore they normally adhere to certain kind of characteristics, such as they must adapt not continuously but in incremental manner, because if they adapt continuously, then there will be instability. So the project will not progress because they are only adapting, they are not progressing. So the incremental adaptation is one of the ways they address the unpredictability. The second one is adaptations need customer feedback. So they try to create customer feedback as one of the source for the adaptations. And when they do incremental development strategy, if that is instituted into the process model as part of the characteristics of the process model, then for each increment they can get customer feedback, and this customer feedback can be used as the basis for the adaptations. So that is one way the agile process models address unpredictability. The deliveries of increment should be done in short periods so that the adaptations can keep pace with the change. So we have assumed, there is the assumption that these process models have to work in a continuously changing, very rapidly changing environment, okay? Very rapidly changing business environment. So because the business environment is changing very rapidly, the process models have to adapt in such a way that it will keep pace with that change. And to do this, to address this kind of unpredictability or this kind of rapid change, they will have to do increments which are in short periods. That means the duration of the increment has to be very short. As we have said, it should be in weeks rather than in months. And the iterative approach to enable customer to evaluate, give feedback, and influence the adaptations made to accommodate the feedback. So these process models has to institute an iterative approach of incremental delivery, and this iterative approach has to take care of the customer feedback into the next increment. And to do this, this agile process model has to adapt to the evaluation of the customer, and this evaluation should be treated as the and he should be able to give the feedback based on the evaluation, and after giving the feedback, this feedback will be fed into the iterative approach for the next increment, and in that particular design of the next increment, the customer will be influencing the adaptations. So the customer has a very large role in evaluating the product, the increment product, and also providing the feedback as well as trying to mold the adaptations that has to be done in the subsequent increments. There are also certain human factors that has to be built into the agile process. So agile development process, it focuses on the talent and skill of the team members. And these talent and skill are not only technology or the technical skills, but they are also quite a bit of a human skills or the soft skills that will be required for molding the process to the specific people and the teams. Because the people and the people have to work in the business environment, and the team has to accommodate into the ever-changing business environment and the rapidness of the delivery. So the people who will be working in the agile development team need to have the talent and skill by which they can mold them, they can influence them, and they can adapt them. So the members must display certain key traits or key characteristics or key human characteristics which will enable them to do this molding. The first one is the competence, software skills, and process knowledge. That is a very necessary thing, and normally we take people who are well experienced for doing agile process. Common focus, that means although the different team members may be doing different tasks, they always need to keep in mind that they have a common goal. So the focus should be on the goal, the common goal should be the focus. There should be a collaborative approach, so they should be able to collaborate, and these team members must collaborate with customer as well as business managers to be able to build a software. Why this collaboration is required? Because it needs to provide value to business. So value to business is the main because that is the main focus. So the software delivery, the increments has to be planned in such a way that it will be prioritized based on the value to business, and accordingly we have to collaborate. That means we have to understand their constraints, we have to understand their priority, we have to understand their business domain, and both the customer team and the team members have to collaborate. So this collaborative attitude is another human factor that should be available among the development team. Then they have to have also decision making ability. They should be trained to take decisions, because the team is supposed to have autonomy. They should be self organizing and self performing, so they have to take decisions not only on technical issues but also other project issues may be there. In the changing environment, when they adapt, they have to take decisions very fast. So that is another talent or a skill they need to have. And also they need to have the ability to trust each other and respect each other. That has to be exhibited in the team to make them keep them motivated and work together for the common focus. And the last one is the self-organization. Here we are talking of three different things. One is the team organizes itself for the work to be done. And second is the team organizes the process that is required to accommodate the environment in the best way. Whatever is the best way we can accommodate to the changing environment, the process needs to be organized to that method. So the team should be able to do that. And also they should be able to organize the work schedule to the best way so that the delivery will be achieved. To best achieve the delivery, they have to adapt the work schedule. They have to organize the work schedule, and if required, they have to keep changing the work schedule to adapt it. So these are the three different ways that self-organization can be achieved, and these three types of characteristics or skills should be present in the people who will be working for the agile process. So let's look at, so we have understood what is a agile model look like, what is agility, and what are the characteristics of the agile processes, and what are the characteristics of the people who will work in this agile process. Now we are looking at the agile models. So as we have said, it is a family of models which follow the agile principle and make it lightweight and adaptive to the changing environment. So this is a set of names for agile models. It is not exhaustive. There are many more. So we have extreme programming, Scrum, adaptive software development, dynamic system development method, Crystal, feature driven development, agile modeling, and many more like that. And many more are also getting developed. And these agile models are becoming very important and very popular because of two reasons. One is that we are going more and more into the object oriented modeling. Object oriented environment is being used, and these agile models can adapt very well to the object oriented methods. And also something known as the concept of DevOps is coming up, where the development and the operation is getting together, is getting joined, and there are the development is operationalized. The operation is also being kept in mind when development is being done. So operational software, operational methods are also becoming important for the development. So in those kind of situations, these kind of agile models are becoming very important, and there are more and more agile methods are being developed, and they are also being enhanced to adapt to the changing environment. And there is something called as the Agile Alliance, which is created by the people who started, the founding members of the Agile Manifesto. And many organizations are member of it, of the Agile Alliance. And it is a non-profit organization that promotes Agile development. Thank you very much for giving me a patient listening. So in the next lesson, we will take up some of the agile models that we looked in this slide as much as possible. We will try to cover few so that we know how the agile process models are implemented while developing the software projects. Thank you all.